The cryptocurrency market right now is building for what I believe is going to be a huge run. Whether that's the fact that we're seeing Tether allegedly being investigated by the US government, but more importantly, what happens if Microsoft vote to buy Bitcoin? I want to take a look at some of those price predictions and what that could mean for you as an investor in cryptocurrency. All of that in this video. If that's something like the sound of, you want to stay up to date with all the latest news, reviews, technical analysis, and more, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to turn that notification bell to all and you're updated whenever we go live or put our newest and hottest content on the channel. With that being said though, let's get into this video. So I think the first thing to talk about that is on everyone's mind right now, and I guess has definitely contributed to the fact that we saw an initial pullback in the market, is the fact that the Wall Street Journal put out, in my opinion, by the way, a hit piece on cryptocurrency. Not only did we get Gary Gensler giving a massive middle finger to Bitcoin earlier on that Bloomberg interview, we also saw the US government allegedly now getting the funds returned from those hackers. All seems very coincidental. So now they're going after Tether. Now, just for reference, by the way, they have done this previously, and it was just before the monumental bull market of 2021. So it's not a surprise that yet again we see the potential government going after this. But what we do know is, at this stands right now, the CEO of Tether has come out and said they are not aware of any US probe going into theirs. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they aren't, but certainly you would expect them to have that. Spokesman blasts the Wall Street Journal article. I actually have read that article. It's about 19 lines. That is exactly what I said. Pretty much a hit piece. As a US news outlet published an article on Friday claiming Tether was under investigation for possible violations of anti-money laundering and sanctions rules. Even the statement that they put out is actually very nondescript and allows them to pivot if simply not true. And I think this is a game of chicken. Are Tether up to no good, and do they then flinch? I don't think that's going to happen. But again, the fact that they say that they are claiming Tether is under investigation for possible violations is absolutely not concrete, and in my opinion, pretty terrible journalism as we walk it through. Ask yourself this question though: if this was true and we were generally allegedly being investigated, why would BlackRock buy 2,500 Bitcoin? Why would ARK 21 buy another 250 Bitcoin? Why would we yet again see over $3.17 billion worth of volume flowing through the Bitcoin ETFs? You would expect that some of these companies would absolutely be, well, informed of what's going on at Tether. So I truly believe it is an absolute hit piece. So we'll see what happens on the back of that, which I think is definitely interesting. But the big question that I touched on this yesterday, and I wanted to double back because people, I feel, just don't understand what's about to come in this market. I've been talking about this being the biggest bull market cycle we've ever had in the history of cryptocurrency. Doesn't mean that Bitcoin is going to go to astronomical price ranges of $1 million, $10 million, something crazy. I've always predicted around 140 to 150, and I think some people even predict up to anywhere near $400,000. Time will tell. But when you have news like this, Microsoft potentially voting to buy Bitcoin, what could it mean to the price? Well, let's take a look at a couple of stats. Bear in mind that the last financial report for Microsoft in 2024, they held $76 billion in cash and equivalents. So these are things that they could move into cash relatively easy. If they were to allocate 10% of that cash value, and if you look at MicroStrategy, an example that is over leveraging to buy Bitcoin, as well as many others, BlackRock obviously buying huge amounts, 10% isn't a great deal. This would give a value of around 7.6 billion. What does it look like? It would actually give them a total hold of around 104,000 Bitcoin at an average of $73,000. So think about that price range, which would be pretty crazy. It would absolutely put them well within the top 10. In fact, it would definitely give them a significant amount over Tesla and many, many others. So this would be a huge move for Microsoft, and again, leveraging a monumental move in the Bitcoin market. Imagine a massive inflow of 7.6 billion. Well, you're looking at easily $80,000 to $85,000 once that does come in. But ultimately, how do we get to that point? Well, a large shareholder can compel a company to consult all shareholders on specific images. As per SEC regulations for public companies, the board has advised voting against the Bitcoin proposal likely reflect caution around volatility, which again, the argument would be they could invest $7.6 billion and it could go down. Here's the thing to think about. Why now? Why would now be the appropriate time? Why all of a sudden, given everything that happened in the bear market, do we now see potentially Microsoft looking to get in? We also know MicroStrategy is looking to over leverage and take some more debt on to allow more Bitcoin purchases. And it's actually turning out to be very good. Remember, outperforming every single S&P 500 company is MicroStrategy. So I think this has got more miles than a lot of people give it credit for. And I truly believe that it's going to be a very interesting vote. 10th of December, date in your diary. Could we see a $100,000 Bitcoin before Christmas? Let me know what you think of that in the comments down below. But what's going on with Bitcoin right now? It's been an incredibly volatile day. If we move to the hourly chart, just an example, you can see just how volatile we've been. We actually saw this nice uptrend coming in around the morning time as the European markets opened. And then guess what? The US markets bought a little bit of Bitcoin, and then we saw that big move on the back of the Tether news. Now, I think people have truly understood, actually, until something comes out, let's not worry about it. We also know ETF purchases did come in late in the day, pre the weekend. So we actually got a nice little bounce on that. Look at the daily chart. What do we get? A very interesting chart. And in fact, this confirmation of the breakout is looking even more bullish. You can see there the retest on the bottom of this chart. I haven't adjusted this chart. This chart's been on here now for weeks with that bounce to the upside. This actually is a very bullish indicator as to where we're going to go, and confirms, in my opinion, the triple bottom that we've been talking about with the break to the upside. So lots of positives to talk about in the Bitcoin market, lots of good news, and that Microsoft news could be huge, because if Microsoft get in, well, you better believe the rest of it are going to get in. Amazon, Unilever, and many other huge companies could be looking to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. But let me know what you think, as always, in the comments down below. And if you are looking to trade Bitcoin, don't forget MEXC is offering a massive $8,000 bonus for signing up with the link in the description, as well as 10% rebate on all your trading fees. So do check out that link down there in the description. Helps out the channel. And while you're down there, hit the like button, subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and you're updated with all the latest content. As ever, thank you so much, everybody, for watching the video. We appreciate your time, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.